it's finally taken all week. We've sure talked about it a lot on the radio. It's going to be talked about for the next 50 years in Seattle, if not longer. This play will never go away. It's left the nation talking about it. Matt Lauer flies in to ask Pete Carroll about it. People have written articles about it. I think it's been pretty well chronicled, but always beneficial when you can see it in this form. I think when you can see the entirety of this picture, and by no means, after 5 days of talking, do I still feel like it was the right call. I think what I said Monday, I'll stand by. The methodology and the plan of throwing it on 2nd and 1 with the timeouts and the game plan, I get it. The risk involved with this play and really what New England did to finish it off and make the play was just simply something with this guy in the backfield and this guy in the backfield and your capabilities here was simply, for me, too much risk. Having said that, let's lay this play out as we do here on Chalk Talk. Players, formations, plays. Players, formations, plays. The player put the ball in number 3's hands. He played a near flawless game. His QB rating through the roof. Did not in any way, in 59 minutes and 30 seconds, put his team in harm's way from a turnover situation. So when they make the pass call, the last thing that Pete or Daryl or Tom or anyone's thinking is this ball is going to be picked off, because this guy's governor when it comes to risk and interceptions as good as any young player to ever play this game, and I'll stand by that. Players who put the ball in his hands. Formations. Pretty telling once again, and I hope as you watch these plays evolve, you start to see why they do what they do. They come out in this near bunch alignment, and you're going to see Doug Baldwin come across the formation. And when he does, and why they do that, is to get a declaration from that defense. What are they playing? Well, once you see Mr. Revis come across the formation, you're going to see man-to-man coverage. You're going to move Marshawn over, moves Hightower over half a step. What are you now doing? Well, now look at the window of opportunity that you have to attack this area of the field in this pass play. So you now move Marshawn over, you've got Revis over, and you got, from their perspective, everything they want. They're going to run a concept into the boundary, their little spot concept, their little 7 flat. Luke Wilson on a corner, Doug on a spot route, Marshawn to the flat, a concept they'll run a million times from every formation. And no, Marshawn's not open. They're in man-to-man coverage on this side as well, and Chandler Jones has got Marshawn covered coming out. Revis all over the back. This side is dead, as I think number 3 knew it would be. More importantly, once they shift over, once they get into their formation, and number 3 looks out at what he has 2-on-2. This whole Super Bowl and this whole game came down to these two guys and this piece of real estate and the decision-making of number 3, of whether to pull the trigger, whether to make the throw, whether to anticipate, and whether to finish this game off. As he said, when it left his hands, he knew that he'd won the Super Bowl. It's amazing, isn't it? When you look at all these Chalk Talks, and you see all these players, and you see all these formations, and yes, they've got 4 down linemen and 4 linebackers in. Is it their goal line package? I don't know. It's their heavy package. That's all you got to know. It's not nickel, it's 4 D linemen, it's 4 linebackers, it's their heavy package with 3 corners, and it's your guys 2-on-2 with their guys 2-on-2. It's a Brandon Browner that you know inside and out from a Seahawks perspective, and it unfortunately is a young guy and a young rookie that showed up bigger than anybody else when it mattered the most. So players, formations, plays, and ultimately the play, and we now know, as Pete told us, this whole concept right here is called Halo. Go through their plays again. Go look at the last 3 years of tape. Not only will you see 7 flat, okay, the little spot concept, you'll also see a stack alignment in this rub concept all over the place. You'll see it with Marshawn, with Luke Wilson. You'll see it with receivers. You will see this Halo concept amongst tons of formations all over the field. You'll see Doug Baldwin in a very similar concept on 3rd and 7 against Green Bay, the stack the other way where he's coming from the inside out. Well, this time, or outside in, this time they're going from the inside out, and unfortunately, and I just can't say it enough, anytime you get into a stack, anytime you get into bunch, anytime you get into this formation, that point man has to win. That point man has to do his job, or nearly the rest of the play is dead. And Brandon Browner, the pterodactyl, got right up, and you can freeze frame it, and he got, unfortunately, right up underneath Jermaine and stalled him. Could not move him, could not get him off the spot, and could not distract Mr. Butler from beating Ricardo Lockett to the spot on a throw that I know many have criticized. Could it have been a half tick late? Maybe. But his governor to take risk will always be on. He's always maybe going to be a half tick late, because the last thing he wants to do is throw an interception. And the last thing the number 83 thought was somehow, some way that this guy was going to beat him to that spot. He does. He makes the play. the halo goes the other way, the Super Bowl goes the other way, and for the next 50 years, we'll be talking about the play that maybe shouldn't have ever been.